Cordova is a small town located near the mouth of the Copper River in the Valdez-Cordova census area, Alaska, United States, at the head of Orca Inlet on the east side of Prince William Sound. The population was 2,239 at the 2010 census, down from 2,454 in 2000. Cordova was named Puerto Cordova by Spanish explorer Salvador Fidalgo in 1790. No roads connect Cordova to other Alaskan towns, so a plane or ferry is required to travel there. In the Exxon Valdez oil spill of March 1989, an oil tanker ran aground northwest of Cordova, heavily damaging ecology and fishing. It was cleaned up shortly after, but there are lingering effects, such as a lowered population of some birds. In 1790, the inlet in front of the current Cordova town site was named Puerto Cordova by Spanish explorer Salvador Fidalgo, after Spanish Admiral Luis de Cordova y Cordova. The town of Cordova was named after it, although the inlet itself was later renamed the Orca Inlet. Cordova proper was founded as a result of the discovery of high-grade copper ore at Kennecott, north of Cordova. A group of surveyors from Valdez laid out a town site, and Michael James Henney purchased half the land for the terminus of the Copper River and Northwestern Railway after determining that the neighboring town of Katla was a poor harbor. Henney and his crew held a brief ceremony to organize the town on March 26, 1906. A week later, crews arrived to begin work on the railroad. The first lots in the new town site, which make up the heart of present-day Cordova, were sold at auction in May 1908. As the railroad grew, so did the town. Eventually schools, businesses, a hospital, and utilities were established. After the railroad was completed, Cordova became the transportation hub for the ore coming out of Kennecott. In the years 1911 to 1938, more than 200 million tons of copper ore was transported through Cordova. The area around Cordova was historically home to the Ayak, with a population of Chugach to the west, and occasional visits from Mitna and Tlingit people for trade or battle. The last full-blooded Ayak, Marie Smith Jones, died in 2008, but the native traditions and lifestyle still has an influence on the local culture. Cordova was also once the home of a booming razor clam industry, and between 1916 and the late 1950s it was known as the razor clam capital of the world. Commercial harvest in the area was as much as 3.5 million pounds. Returns began declining in the late 1950s, presumably due to overharvesting and a large die-off in 1958. The 1964 Good Friday earthquake effectively and completely obliterated the industry. In some areas, the ground was thrust up by as much as 6 feet, exposing the already depleted clam beds. There has been no commercial harvest in the area since 1988, with the exception of a brief harvest in 1993. In March 1989, the Exxon Valdez oil tanker ran aground on Bligh Reef northwest of Cordova, causing one of the most devastating environmental disasters in North America. The Exxon Valdez oil spill severely affected the area's salmon and herring populations, leading to a recession of the local fishing-reliant economy as well as disrupting the general ecology of the area. After many years of litigation, $450 million were awarded for compensatory and punitive damages.